best sold cod. Only $6.49 for a 400-gram package. Extra large sweet eating cantaloupes, just $3.99 each. Save 75 cents on ShopRite macaroni, just $1.50 for a 16-ounce box. Fabuloso multi-use cleaner, only $2.99 for a 33.3-ounce bottle. Select varieties of Arm & Hammer laundry detergent, only $10.59 for a 75-ounce bottle. Visit our website, www.marketplace.bm, for more weekly specials.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Word this evening of a reported restructuring of the sales team at the Bermuda Tourism Authority, with at least one worker at the Bermuda office purportedly sent home, while efforts were reportedly made to serve members of the sales team in New York with what are believed to be termination letters. But those workers, we understand, refused to accept the documents and were told to leave the office until the situation was addressed. Attempts to reach the BTA officials for comment have so far proven futile. Sources telling Gary Moreno there were plans to outsource the BTA sales department. However, we have also been unable to get any official word on those claims. Tomorrow will mark 6 weeks since the Senate approved that controversial domestic partnership bill that's poised to overturn gay marriage. So far, the UK government has sent mixed signals on its intentions. At the center of it all is Governor John Rankin, who has dragged his feet on giving his approval, which is needed to make the bill law. While London has previously said the matter was an issue for Bermuda under the Constitution, Lord Ahmad, the man responsible for the overseas territories in the Foreign Office, appeared to indicate Britain might be taking a harder line on Bermuda. He was addressing the Foreign Affairs Committee when the issue of Bermuda came up.
I just wonder what decision you made about Bermuda and same-sex marriage.
Well, I've raised that directly with the Premier. It's of deep concern to us that we had made positive traction with Bermuda, and that's an issue that I've raised directly with the Premier when I met with him just after the JMC. And they know of our deep concern in this respect. Now, if your question, I don't know if your subsequent question, would we impose something on? We are clear where we stand on the issue of same-sex marriage. It's the human right of any individual to have that right. That point has been made in no uncertain terms to the Premier, and he is aware of the British government's position on that.
Sorry to interrupt you, but if the governor, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, but the reversal of the existing legislation under which some people have been same-sex married, I think 6 couples, depends on the governor signing it. Will the governor sign it on the British government's behalf or not?
I think we're clear that our governor is a representative of the UK, and he will reflect the views of Her Majesty's government.
That's a no. He won't.
Just on this, I mean, we're discussing this with the Minister, but also with the Governor at the moment, because it's important also that it's based on the Constitution of Bermuda and the legal position. So we're very clear this is an important issue. It's not been finalised yet, but we're certainly aiming to do that shortly.
However, Alex Scott, the former Premier whom we contacted to weigh in on the issue, believes the fact that has taken London so long to make a decision indicates the predicament Britain finds itself in. Here's what he told Tarai Trott.
Tarai, I don't have a crystal ball, but when it comes to the British government, and it will be the British government's view that the governor will reflect when he informs Bermuda of his position. But I think the British government and governor find themselves in a constitutional bind, in that the UK are very firm and very clear that they stand for marriage partnerships, same-sex marriage. But in the case of Bermuda, that position was only taken in the courts. A judge took that decision. But in the recent general election in July 18th, the people spoke, and the current government is only reflecting what their platform put to the Bermudian public. So if the British government now choose to use their position as the mother country, then they will have to use a heavy constitutional hand, because Bermuda is self-governing right up to the point of going independent. We are not there yet.
Mr. Scott says the world would be watching Bermuda on this decision, particularly the Caribbean and African nations where same-sex marriage is not popular. Asked if he could imagine the consequences if Britain were to tell Bermuda no.
I would never try to anticipate the British when it comes to how they manage their various colonies. I can see him saying no, but that would put our premier and our current government in a position where they could, in actual fact, become very prominent, not only locally, but globally, because what it would mean then, does the local government take a no from the British sitting down, or do they challenge the right of the Bermudian people to have their say?
You can count on us.
Assorted varieties of fresh attitude salads, only $3.50 for a 5-ounce package. Land O'Lakes cheddar cheese, just $3.99 per pound. Select varieties of Fab 2X laundry detergent, only $4.99 for a 50-ounce bottle. Save $2.20 on Tropicana orange juice, just $4.49 for a 59-ounce bottle. Kellogg's Frosted Flake cereal, only $5.49 for a 15-ounce box. All stores open Monday through Saturday until 10 p.m., Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
The whole concept came from the collaboration with BF&M and the America's Cup. The Endeavour programme is the legacy of the 35th America's Cup that was here in Bermuda in June. And we've continued the charity now operating in Bermuda. And going forward, we thought, what a great opportunity for children on the autism spectrum. And hence we actually developed the No Limits programme. They really do benefit from this kind of outdoor experience, this environment. You know, just yesterday going off the east end of Bermuda, I mean, they wouldn't have done that. Not many children in Bermuda have done that. And just them learning to take control of a large bit of transportation that they're doing at that age, and they may never get that opportunity.
That's where you see the biggest progress is whether they were looking at their hand steering, you know, it's now they're looking forwards and actually looking where they're going because they've realized, oh, I know where my hand is. I can do this without looking at my hand.
We are so grateful for the Endeavour program and what it has done for the students on the autism spectrum.
Welcome back. Well, Bermuda has received some golden worldwide exposure on the video sharing site YouTube thanks to aerial video uploaded by a few hours ago by the YouTube video enthusiast Casey Neistat. Mr. Neistat visited the island recently and used his Mavic Pro aerial drone to take breathtaking video of Bermuda and to use Bermuda as a testing ground for his device. At last check, his video garnered more than 400,000 views in just a few hours. Mr. Neistat, who is from New York, is known for his love of aerial drones and for testing the latest drones in different parts of the United States. He first gained internet notoriety in 2003 after uploading a 3-minute film called iPod's Dirty Secret, criticizing Apple for not having a battery replacement program for the iPod. The film brought enough pressure to cause Apple to have a rethink. He has 10,000 subscribers. In other news, technology and specifically business technology, that's the next frontier for Bermuda's economy. And Premier David Byrd is making it quite clear at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. Here's Gary Moreno with the story.
According to Wikipedia, in layman's terms, blockchain is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using cryptography. It is also being considered the backbone of future business technology, and Premier David Byrd, during a panel discussion in Davos, making it clear Bermuda is open and ready to welcome new businesses using this technology.
Bermuda is known around the world for being of a very high standard, being a high standard insofar as regulation, anti-money laundering, KYC, and compliance. So with that standard, knowing that we can build upon that standard and possibly be leaders in this space, that's the reason why we're being very aggressive in attacking it. And you can operate without the fear of being looked at as being in a less than reputable jurisdiction, because Bermuda is anything but. And so for anyone to come into Bermuda, we don't accept anyone in Bermuda. We make sure that you pass our tests, and our tests are very stringent and strict when it comes to KYC and AML. But once you pass there, you can operate in a marketplace, which we want to make sure that we can service the world.
Premier Byrd highlighting how this technology is already being used by government.
Bermuda has a what's called an old school deeds-based property system, and where you have to have that. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer our property register to the blockchain. and basically so that it's clearly it needs to be transparent so people will know what's there, but it can be secure, and in that way we know who owns what at any point in time, and that's just a way of making things far more efficient. Now clearly some of the lawyers that are engaged in that deed transfer will not be very pleased, but the thing is to make more efficiencies, create more efficiencies inside of our economy, and basically that means that we can have more resources inside of our economy for our citizens to use and to transact.
And it appears ventures are already being entered into with overseas companies. One such entity is Vapor, which, according to Aaron Dotter, its founder, CEO and chairman, is looking to develop a product aimed at regulating cryptocurrency.
At some point, it's going to be an aggregate of 1,500 coins that are out there. Somebody's going to have to clear and settle these trades, and someone has to convert to value. So what we're doing is that we're actually working with a couple of organizations, including our friends in Bermuda, to create the next generation PEG, like a foreign exchange and currency marketplace, where we can actually take the inventory of all the coins, create an exchange in a marketplace where we can actually, from a regulatory point of view and from a compliant point of view, create the gold standard for that exchange.
Mr. Bird telling the panel setting up business in tech-savvy Bermuda could prove nothing but beneficial.
We talk about concepts such as digital free ports, we talk about concepts such as to store your digital assets, and etc. So those are all the places where we're looking. And I mean, you can push out new services not only to the residents of your country that are actually physically there, but also you can provide services to people on a virtual basis around the world that want to do business from in a place such as Bermuda. And you don't have to be physically located there, but also taking advantage of our regulatory environment to sell your goods and products and services to the world.
Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
In other news, rating agency Fitch says Bermuda's tax advantage will be reduced now that the U.S. corporate tax rate sits at 21% and as the U.S. implements a new tax on income kept abroad. But Fitch said it doesn't think the advantages of a Bermuda domicile will be completely eliminated. The rating agency also said that U.S. tax reform could be a driving force behind market M&A. Just announced yesterday, Bacardi announced a $5 billion takeover of tequila maker Patron, and AIG said it was buying Bermudian reinsurer Validus for $5.6 billion. Tony Waterman sat down with the CEO of the Association of the Bermuda Insurers and Reinsurers and started off by asking him if the AIG Validus deal was just the tip of the iceberg.
Well, we'll see. There's a lot of capital in the insurance space right now, and there are a lot of attractive Bermuda companies. So this sounds like it's going to be a perfect deal, very complementary, according to the CEOs from both companies. Minimal integration, so that's good for Bermuda, good for the Bermuda market, and good for Bermuda jobs.
What we've seen with past consolidations is that because of the efficiencies that are formed between the companies, that it's led to layoffs. Now, AIG and Validus say that this shouldn't happen by and large, but if we continue to see wide-scale consolidation in the market, will it eventually lead to layoffs? Can you have consolidation without the layoffs?
Well, part of the M&A space means having efficiency. So it's important for jurisdictions to be aware of that and making sure that they're putting their best foot forward to allow for efficiencies in the market.
You mentioned that there are a lot of attractive Bermuda companies, but is there a particular area within the industry that is exceptionally attractive for these companies that are sitting on these mounds and mounds of cash at this point?
We know the property and casualty industry, particularly the reinsurance industry, just came off of 2017 with substantial U.S. losses. In large part, those were not capital events. Those were just earnings events. So they really proved their worth, if you will. And so there will always be natural catastrophes. That's a very important market, particularly protecting developed countries, and the U.S. is a very mature market, so those companies are very valuable and providing a valuable resource. But what we've seen is there's abundant capital out there, and so riding that business is very important.
What we're also seeing at this point, though, is we're seeing interest rates go higher, which in a lot of ways is very good news for the insurance industry. But what sort of impact could that have on the wheeling and dealing? And could we actually see companies scrambling to close more deals before rates get too high?
I don't know that it's a particular driver right now. Interest rates are still relatively low. And the insurance model, if you will, collecting premiums, earning investment income on those premiums before claims are paid, that middle segment is very important to create revenue for companies. And we've had a low interest rate environment for a bit. And insurance companies, to a certain extent, would welcome some interest rate rise there for yield.
In other news, the Customs Department in the lead up to International Customs Day on Friday, January 26, is hosting a number of events to raise awareness about the work of the department. Here's more from the Chief of Customs, Lucinda Pierman.
Today is the open house. On Sunday, we have a week of events. But on Sunday, we had the church service. We start with a church service each year. And today is the open house, and this is where we actually show you what we do, so people can learn about what customs is about and what we do. And then tomorrow we have the Colin Smith Road Race, and that's running, cycling, or walking. And on the Thursday, we have some community assistance, or we help the community. And then we ended with a function for the staff only.
The Assistant Collector of Customs, Tracy Kelly, explains what is this year's theme.
Bermuda is a member of the WCO, which is the World Customs Organization, and the theme this year is a secure business environment. And most of your viewers will be aware that customs is very heavily dependent on computer processing systems, both for immigration at the airport, for collection of revenue, and for our other important duties we carry out. Yeah. So having that environment secured is very important to us and to the community.
And you work hand in hand with police?
Yes, we have a very good relationship with police. They're responsible for some of the duties once we've detected certain things at the border. And we also work closely with immigration, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, health. There's a whole lot of things we do.
Charmette Pond, the Acting Assistant Collector, has the latest on the department's staff figures.
We currently have about 170 in our establishment, and today we've had people from every of our operational units, and they're putting items on display today, so you can get in and see what we really do. Most people just have a view of us being at the airport, but here we have our commercial operations represented through the long room. We have our express courier systems represented here today, DHL, IBC, Federal Express. We also have the express mail consignment, the Bermuda Mail Processing Center. We also have our training unit here, and they are having on display today some of the prohibited and restricted items that we do have here. And we also have some partners here with us today. We have NDC, the National Drug Control. We also have Crime Stoppers here with us today, and U.S. Customs and Border Protection. They are here representing today as well. So in celebrating International Customs Day, we would like to do a week of celebration and just highlight different areas.
And just a slight correction on the story now on the video of the Bermuda uploaded by drone enthusiast Casey Neistat. We incorrectly said that he has 10,000 viewers on YouTube when in fact he has 10 million. So you can imagine the exposure the island is receiving tonight. Turning to weather news, another sunny day in store. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Good evening, Bermuda. This forecast has been brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group. As we take you to the satellite, we're still dealing with some cloudy conditions here along and around Bermuda, and then we're going to see some more moisture make its way in. Here it is coming off the United States, pushing its way right into the Atlantic, our next frontal system. That means an uptick in cloud cover, winds, and showers here across Bermuda as we head into your extended forecast. But our current conditions aren't looking too bad. We're seeing temperatures in the upper 60s and calling for 68 degrees as of now. Humidity 64%, winds out of the southeast 8 to 12 knots, and we'll see those winds increase as that frontal system continues to get closer to our area. Water temperature 68 degrees and waves in the reef 1 foot, waves out 2 to 3 feet for tonight's forecast. Now as we head into tonight in terms of our sky cover, cloudy conditions are expected out there, and it's also going to feel breezy. Low temperature of 67. Heading into our Wednesday, yes, we're looking at some cloudy conditions to stick around, as well as some moisture making its way into the area in the form of showers as we head into the afternoon hour. So don't expect much sunshine here across Bermuda. Temperatures will be in the 70s for our highs, reaching a high of 72 degrees, and our low cooling down to 64. Then as we head into your marine forecast, we do have a small craft draft warning out, and we expect that warning to be extended into our Thursday and even into our Friday morning as that frontal system really stirs some things up. In terms of our high tide, we saw our first one at 12:21 p.m. this afternoon. Second one is expected at 1 a.m. on our Wednesday morning. As we take you into our getaway forecast, we're looking at some cloudy conditions out towards Toronto, reaching a high of 26 degrees with a low of 13. New York also cloudy with a high of 41 and a low of 23. Now, if you're headed out towards Miami, you can expect some showers, and I'm not ruling out a thunderstorm in Miami with a high of 80. And a low of 64. Temperature's not bad out there. As for London, it's going to be wet, high of 56. Rainy conditions, need your umbrellas if you're headed to London, and we'll be cooling down into the 40s across England. As we head into Jamaica, look at those cloudy conditions. We're looking at rain and showers possible, as well as Barbados looking wet for today. Temperatures are in the upper 80s here in Jamaica, 84 in Barbados, and 86 in Trinidad. Also looking at the potential for some showers. Now here at home, we are looking at that system pushing through and getting closer to our area. So that means we're going to need some of our wet gear to get out. Some umbrellas handy. Showers will be increasing as we head into your Wednesday, and then even more so as we head into your Thursday, because Thursday is a day the front makes its way into the area around midday. So windy conditions are expected, wet conditions into your Friday. Then by Saturday, drying out here across Bermuda, and temperatures also cooling down into the 60s. Back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
At Big Savings Zone, we believe your children deserve a happy space to call their own, full of color and excitement, where their imagination can take flight from fun to functional. We have a delightful selection of kids' furniture built with the same quality that you've come to know and trust at our everyday low prices. Create a room that your little ones will love only at Big Savings Zone. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Located in the Commercial Park, Southside, St. David's. Call 297-4440 or click BigSavingZone.com. Big Savings Zone, making your house a home.
What a show. Yeah, what a show. This is like bringing back the 60s all over again.
If you're going to San Francisco, well, there's a road in the distant cloud.
Turning to sports, Naki Wells' future at Burnley in doubt. School All-Star Weekend a success, and future Winter Olympic hopeful competes in Colorado. Earl Baisden has these stories and much more in tonight's sports package.
On January 9th, Burnley signed Tottenham Whiteman and Kudu on loan for the rest of the season. Today, Burnley confirmed the signing of Aaron Lennon from Everton. All of this adds more questions than answers on the position of Naki Wells at the club. Last weekend, Wells came off the bench in the 89th minute against Manchester United, but now with Lennon on the books, many will be worried about the Bermudians' future. We will keep an eye on the situation and bring you any updates as they arise.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
This past weekend saw the conclusion of the Bermuda School Sports Federation's All-Stars. On Thursday it was volleyball, on Friday was netball, and on Saturday was football. Manny Ferrara, the administrator of the Bermuda School Sports Federation, tells us how the weekend panned out.
It was a fantastic weekend of sports. We had 11 different matches. We started Thursday night, we had 2 volleyball matches. Friday, 3 netball matches, and 6 football games on Saturday. But the level of sportsmanship, the standard of play, and they were actually thrilling matches across the board. I mean, the volleyball game on Thursday night, Both went to 3 sets. They were pretty tight. In the netball games on Friday, the primary school girls went down to the wire. I think the East scored twice in the last minute to secure the win. And then the senior girls game, we had to go to 2 periods of overtime just to get a winner. And then in the football, we had 2 games going to penalties, and they were all won by 1 or 2 goals. So, we had a few overseas coaches here. They were pretty impressed with the standard of play, the boys and girls. So hopefully we could secure a few spots overseas in schools for some of our students.
John Lejour began competing in the Rocky Mountain Freestyle competition, Vail Valley Moguls. Lejour finished 17th competing in the Open Moguls. He would finish with a score of 71.00. Rick Hill was one of 220 players eligible for selection in the MLS Super Draft 2018 presented by Adidas. The draft took place at the Pennsylvania Convention Center in Philadelphia, but unfortunately Hill was not selected in the draft. Meanwhile, an impressive team performance saw Jonte Smith and his Lewes teammates return to the top of the league with a superb 2-1 victory over pre-match league leaders Cray Wanderers. If Bermuda Olympian Tyrone Smith is selected to compete at the Commonwealth Games, he would fancy his chances a little better of a medal, as the defending long jump champion Greg Rutherford has pulled out of England's team for the Games in Australia come April. Gillian Teixeira competed in the MEO Cup, the 3rd event of the horse jumping season in Belgium. Teixeira competed in the 1.25-meter MEO Small Grand Prix in 2 phases special class, riding Chakova. They would finish 8th. They clocked a clear first phase time of 38.19, and then they would clock a clear second phase time of 28.78. Teixeira would also mount the Luna in the same class. They would finish 50th. They clocked a clear first phase time of 37.04 before clocking a time of 27.71 in their second phase, but they had 8 penalty fault points. The Bermuda Triathlon Association recently held their 2017 awards, with Flora Duffy winning the Senior Professional Female Triathlete of the Year award, while Tyler Butterfield was named the Senior Professional Male Triathlete of the Year. The Senior Amateur Female Triathlete of the Year was Karen Smith, while the Senior Amateur Male Triathlete of the Year was Matt Thompson. Also picking up awards were Maddie Durkin for the Best New Triathlete Female and Alan Potts the Best New Male. Liz Stewart was the Most Improved Triathlete for the females, while Otis Ingham has been the Most Improved Triathlete for the males. Tyler Smith won the Peter Grayston Special Achievement Award, while the John Buchanan Club Person of the Year Award went to Alex Shepard. The Jim Butterfield Long Service Award was awarded to Patty. In the latest round of the Bermuda Bowl Hockey League season that goes on at the PCC Hockey Rink, it saw the Montreal Canadiens defeat the Ottawa Senators 3-2 in a shootout. The first period saw Joe Neal score for the Ottawa Senators, with Andrew Boner equalizing for the Canadiens. The Senators would take a 2-1 lead when Andrew Kernall scored, but the Canadiens would equalize through another Boner goal. With no goals in overtime, Ryan Wilson's shootout goal proved to be the winner. In the nightcap, the Vancouver Canucks defeated the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-1. Former Bermuda Carifta swimming gold medalist Emma Harvey represented Millfield Swimming at the Flanders Swim Cup in Belgium. Harvey finished 4th in Heat 8 of the women's 50-meter freestyle, touching the wall in a time of 26.68. However, she did not advance to the final. Harvey finished 37th competing in the women's 100-meter freestyle, clocking a time of 59.88. She finished 5th in the women's 50-meter backstroke B final, touching the wall in a time of 30.38, which would see her finish 13th overall. Harvey would finish 19th in the women's 100-meter backstroke, clocking a time of 1:07.04. Harvey would finish 7th in the women's 50-meter butterfly B final, recording a time of 28.53. With a time of 1:03.53, Harvey would finish 4th in the women's 100 butterfly B final. In Friesenbrook Maya Continental Bowling League action inside the Warwick Lanes, it saw the Oddballs defeat the Bermuda Pest Control 21-9. The Cubs defeated the Invaders 26.5 to 3.5. New Hope got by the Pinjammers 25-5, while the Nifty Rollers defeated the Quickie Licky Laundry 19-11. The Spice Sticks defeated the Underdogs 20-10.
Tonight's sports has been brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
The whole concept came from the collaboration with BF&M and the America's Cup. The Endeavour program is the legacy of the 35th America's Cup that was here in Bermuda in June. And we've continued the charity now operating in Bermuda. And going forward, we thought, what a great opportunity for children on the autism spectrum. And hence we actually developed the No Limits program. They really do benefit from this kind of outdoor experience, this environment. You know, just yesterday going off the east end of Bermuda, I mean, they wouldn't have done that. Not many children in Bermuda have done that. And just them learning to take control of a large bit of transportation that they're doing at that age, and they may never get that opportunity.
That's where you see the biggest progress is whether they were looking at their hand steering, you know, now they're looking forward and actually looking where they're going because they've realized, oh, I know where my hand is. I can do this without looking at my hand.
We are so grateful for the Endeavour program and what it has done for the students on the autism spectrum.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for joining us. Good night.